Teen mom, baby missing. Kamika Brown and her 3-month-old daughter, Davian Brown, both of Broxton Hall District, Moko Clarendon, have been missing since Thursday, January 11. Kamika is of brown complexion, slim build, and about 5 feet 1 inch tall, while Davian is also of brown complexion and approximately 24 inches tall. Reports from the Moko police are that about 9 a.m., the teen mother and child were last seen at home, where Kamika was wearing her school uniform, a white blouse and black skirt, and her daughter was wearing a pink onesie. They have not been heard from since. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of Kamika Brown and her daughter is asked to contact the Moko police at 876-833-6154, the 119 police emergency number, or the nearest police station. Thanksgiving service for Gully yesterday. The Thanksgiving service for the late dancehall artist Gully went underway yesterday at the Ronnie Williams Entertainment Center on Hope Road in Kingston. Scores of people turned out to celebrate the life of Gully whose hit, "My God Them No Bad Like Me," was being played over speakers attached to the top of the hearse when the body has arrived at the venue. The artist's real name, Robert Lee Malcolm, could be seen peacefully at rest in a glass-covered casket, dressed in a red suit and holding a microphone. Last October, Gully Bop's death was confirmed by his pastor, who told reporters that the entertainer passed away at the Kingston Public Hospital. He was said to have been suffering from a kidney disease and was admitted to hospital where he had been receiving treatment. According to an announcement on Instagram by the late artist manager, Gully Bop will be interred at his family's plot in Lawrence Tavern, Kingston. Police identify body of man found in St. Anne. The police have identified the body of a man who was found dead in Liberty Hall, Lime Hall in St. Anne on Friday evening. He is 28-year-old Romario Cross, otherwise called Bojo, of Clamstead Lime Hall in the parish. Reports from the St. Anne Bay Police is that about 9:30 p.m., residents heard explosions and summoned them. On arrival of the lawmen, Cross was seen on the step of an unfinished building with gunshot wounds to the head, shoulder and back. He was taken to hospital where he was confirmed dead. Man stabbed to death during altercation at home in St. Anne. A St. Anne man was stabbed to death at his home on Saturday. Dead is Peter James, otherwise called Chopper, of Main Street, Ocheres in the parish. Reports are that sometime after 7 a.m., James and another man got into an argument when a stone was used to hit the other man to the head, causing a wound. A knife was brought into play and James was reportedly stabbed in the chest. The police were summoned and both men were taken to hospital, where James succumbed to his injuries and the other man treated and released into police custody. The identity of the other man is being withheld pending further investigations. The incident pushed the number of people killed in St. Anne since the start of the year to at least 7. Some residents have expressed concern about the number of killings. One woman, Marsha Johnson, said St. Anne has been in the news too often. Every minute is another incident, next killing. St. Anne should be peaceful, and it is not right now, like the people them a try break record with the killing, she lamented. 4 men arrested in Manchester jewelry store attempted break-in. 4 men were arrested after they were caught attempting to break into a jewelry store in Mandeville, Manchester on Sunday morning. Police sources say 2 of the men are from Rocky Hill, St. Elizabeth. One is from Kingston 14 address and the other from Kempshill in Clarendon. The youngest is 23 and the oldest 33. A car with several house and shop breaking implements were seized, to include a crowbar, chisel, and a hammer, among other equipment. The men are ages 23, 27, 28, and 33. Police said about 4 a.m., a team was on patrol when the men were seen attempting to break into the jewelry store located at Mandeville Plaza. The men bore a hole in the wall in an attempt to gain entry to the store. They were taken into custody. Further checks reveal that the men rented a motor car from its owner in Lockover, St. Elizabeth. Woman's decomposing body found in St. Anne identified. The police have identified a woman whose decomposing body was found at a house in Cape Valley, St. Anne on Friday. She is 55-year-old Gwendolyn Thomas, otherwise called Pamela, of Bottom Cascade District, Boroughbridge in the parish. Reports are that about 2:20 p.m., residents stumbled upon the body and summoned the police. On their arrival, Thomas' decomposing body was seen lying face down in a house. The scene was processed and the body removed to the morgue. The cause of death is not known. Investigations continue. NRSC concerned about fatality rate for the new year. Vice Chairman of the National Road Safety Council, Dr. Lucian Jones, has lamented that 2024 has gotten off to a bad start as it relates to crashes and fatalities. Several crashes have been reported since the start of the year, but he said the most disturbing one to date occurred along the North Coast Highway at Pier 3 Bottom in St. Anne. The 5-4-vehicle collision resulted in at least 2 deaths. Dr. Jones said it's been theorized that speeding was the main factor in the crash.
The terrible crash in St. Anne by Pier 3, in fact, smashes the trend which started the year, where we have only had before 6 people died, 3 pedestrians, and 3 motorcyclists. So the reported 2 persons who died in a fiery crash brings on end single crash fatalities, which we have experienced since the beginning of the year. The fact that the cars burst into flames at the very least means that somebody was going at excessive speed. And it's a feature which we spoke about last year, which we don't want to see this year, and unfortunately has happened for the first time this year. We really have to get into the minds of our drivers to just slow down and live and let somebody else live. We'll hear more details about this crash in due course, but right now, as the Vice Chairman of the National Road Safety Council, I'm very disturbed that we have begun this year with very encouraging results, and now we have this awful crash where so far at least 2 people have died. We can do better. We have to do better this year and just slow down and live.
180 housing units handed over to needy Jamaicans. A total of 180 homes have been handed over so far to beneficiaries under the government's new social housing program, which aims at providing decent shelter for Jamaicans living in substandard conditions. Prime Minister Andrew Holness presented the keys for the 179th and 188th units to 2 physically challenged beneficiaries in St. Elizabeth on Friday. A 1-bedroom house was handed over to Wesley Mackenzie of Lacovia, while Winston Williams and his family, who reside in Cameron Hill District, receive a 3-bedroom unit. Holness emphasized the targeted approach under the NSHP of identifying people in dire situations, particularly those who are disabled. We have to be, as a country and as a government, far more sensitive to persons with disabilities. So this is something being integrated into the NSHP because many of the persons that we serve will have some form of disability that affect their mobility and functionality, he added. Holness further emphasized the importance of integrating wheelchairs and disabled access into the design of the housing units. This consideration aligns with the government's commitment to ensuring that support reaches those who truly require it, according to Mr. Holness. He said that as the initiative progresses, the integration of accessibility features will be prioritized, reflecting a broader sensitivity to the diverse needs of beneficiaries. As you can see, the units are very well built and today's price reasonable cost, Holness pointed out. Meanwhile, Mr. Mackenzie extended thanks to taxpayers, the government, and the Prime Minister for the support that has lifted his spirit. Williams echoed similar sentiments, expressing appreciation for the government's effort on his behalf, having lost his house to a fire 4 years ago and subsequently suffering a stroke that has left him wheelchair-bound. The NSHP was established in 2018 by the Prime Minister as the housing component of the Housing Opportunity, Production and Employment Program. It was developed to improve the living conditions of the country's poor and disadvantaged population by providing quality, affordable, and sustainable housing. The program is being implemented through the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, with the Hope Unit providing administrative and technical support. Law students, teacher wants Barnett punished. Like a number of other Jamaicans, 2 sixth form students and one of their teachers, who on Friday gathered for a legal summit to explore the theme, Transformation Through Legal Education, expressed disappointment that the clock had run out on the Director of Public Prosecutions (DPP) to criminally charge National Water Commission NWC President Mark Barnett and his wife Annette Francis Barnett. In a January 10 ruling, DPP Paula Llewellyn indicated that while the couple had breached the National Resources Conservation Authority Act and the Building Act on the construction of a housing development in St. Andrew, the 12-month statute of limitation had already expired. As such, the DPP ruled that the matter be referred to the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation to conduct an administrative review in accordance with the provisions of the Building Act. Asked for a reaction 2 days later, student Earl Williams Garden said the ruling had left the perception that some individuals in Jamaican society are above the law. If the situation was to involve a regular folk, it would have been investigated much more rigorously, he argued. He suggested that one possible punishment could be for the Barnett's Kingston 6 development, at the heart of the controversy, to be used to benefit the wider society. It could be used as a foster home, a center for domestic abuse victims, or a learning center. The possibilities are endless, but retribution must be enacted, stated the aspiring lawyer. There should be some form of punishment for disregarding the building regulations, so it will serve as a deterrent for people who disregard these laws in the future, Williams Gardner added. His schoolmate, Brenna Brown, had a challenge with the nuisance of the statute of limitations. If all cases were to be tried in a specific time period, then no criminal would be brought to justice. What has happened is a big deal, and they should be used as an example, she told reporters. Even if it is that it's just a slap on the wrist, they should be charged. Using them as an example will deter others from doing the same, especially because they have power, she added. Their teacher, Buchanan, was equally adamant that the Barnetts should be charged. We want to actually have faith in our justice system, and the DPP's ruling does not do that for us, she stated. On Friday, reporters reported that the NWC board is awaiting legal advice on how to proceed in determining whether Barnett will be back on the job. They will like to influence by the findings of the KSAMC probe launch on Friday into the report's inspections and approval surrounding the construction of the multifamily residential development located at 11 Charlton Drive, Kingston 6. Barnett, who was appointed NWC president on August 1, 2015, after serving the company in a number of senior engineering roles, has been on administrative leave since October after the Integrity Commission released its report into allegations of inappropriate development. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.